The Uganda we want. So mu Uganda gye twagala mu lutalo luno olw'okulwanyisa obulabbayo obukenuzi nze kyempita obuvundu. Munna Uganda alina okuba nga yeenyigiramu. Ffenna twenyigire mu lutalo.
Ate abalala tebasomye kuzimba wabula bayize okuzimba.
Uganda gye twagala okulaba ng'enguudo zonna nkole nungi, public transport nga weeri.
Kati eno gavumenti eriwo erina akabonero ka Lucifer. Buli kyotunulako mu Uganda kiriko oxygen. Either babika amawulire malungi oba mawulire mabi. Minisita teyeetaagisa kabangali budde buno zaaki.
At this time, why should somebody import furniture from outside Uganda? Let us leave NRM to be in charge for another 36 years or more.
I really want to see a Uganda that believes in the rule of law. If you have a constitution in place, follow it to the letter. Don't change laws just because you want them to favor you.
Kuba njagala omanye nti obugagga bwonna Uganda bwe yeeyagaliramu buyita waffe ku ttaka lyaffe. Naye busoga mugidibaze.
How can a referral hospital refer you to a private clinic? The Uganda we want buli muntu ateekwa okumanya nti I am a stakeholder, nkwatibwako si kwesuulirayo gwa naggamba.
Uganda oyinza okukakana nga mwe mulina bagraduates aba university nga bangi okusinga ebungereza. Mwe mufokasinga nnyo ku degree. Eri bo bafokasinga nnyo nti byensomye mbijeemu omulimu n'enkola.
We are dreaming of a Uganda where at a young age there is such a relationship between parent and son, parent and daughter, where the daughter can say this is what I want.
Uganda gye twagala empya tesobola kubeerawo nga tewali mateeka. Amateeka agakola.
The Uganda we want. Wano ku Dream TV. Welcome to the program, The Uganda we want. My name is Mulanzi. I'm so excited to be with you again on this show, The Uganda we want. We bring up people here who share their perspective on the kind of Uganda that they want to see, and at the same time they help us, they provide solutions to deal with our issues, to deal with things that are holding us back, to deal with the bottlenecks that are trying to hinder progress in our nation. And then you, as a Ugandan, we charge you at the end of the program to go and implement one or two things that our guests do speak about that will actually give us the Uganda we want. And now today we are joined by pharmacist Nahabwe Innocent. He has joined us today to share his perspective on the kind of Uganda that he wants to see. Now, a few things that I know about him. He's a pharmaceutical scientist by profession, and he belongs to JEMA, that is Justice Forum. You know, that party has been here for some time now, and they have been getting representation in Parliament, and in fact, he's president. He has ever appeared on this show, and he has well shared with us some good ideas on how we can achieve justice for all in our country. Secondly, he acts as a cabinet secretary for special duties, and also the head of research and intelligence department at the JEMA headquarters. He is a Pan-Africanist. I can't leave that out. At the same time, a patriot. You're welcome, Mr. Nahabwe Innocent. Could you greet our viewers and our listeners?
Thank you so much. I greet all of you who are watching. Like I've been introduced, my name is Nahabwe Innocent. He forgot to add the NK. The NK is a family name.
Okay, what is that?
NK is Namara Chantwa. It's a family name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because when we hear NK, there's MK, so we be like,
Nahabwe Innocent, NK, not MK. MK is something else.
Okay.
To set people straight, I come from Rukunji, and I'm so proud of where I come from. A patriot, like he said, a nationalist, and a Pan-Africanist. I belong to the Justice Forum, JEMA, and I'm so happy to be part of the Uganda I Want show today.
Well, you're welcome, and let's go straight to what has actually brought us on air today. Which Uganda do you want to see?
Now, I think before we go to the Uganda I want to see, we should first look at the Uganda we have as of now.
Mm-hmm.
And to get the Uganda we have as of now, we also look at the Uganda before us. Because some of us were not here. Most of us were born when Museveni was the president. But at least we had the history of the Uganda before we were born.
Okay.
So Uganda, as a country, it came into existence in 1900 after the signing of the Uganda Agreement. Now, after declaring Uganda a British protectorate in 1884 or something of that sort.
In the Berlin Conference.
The Berlin Conference is different. The Berlin Conference partitioned Africa.
18 partition, yeah, that was partition.
And then Uganda declared the British protectorate, I think in 1894 or something close to that. I'm not so sure about the years. So, Uganda has a unique history, that Uganda is made of so many tribes and groupings. So it was a combination of Uganda, Ankole, Chigezi, Mporo, Teso, the Achois, all those people, West Nile, they form a country called Uganda. So meaning Uganda has a unique history, it's uniquely made in a way that there are so many cultural groupings that make a country called Uganda. And having that in mind, it means that Uganda has problems, and to drive Uganda to where we want it, we must put all that into account. Now, by the time we came to independence, there are also issues of religious dividings, Catholics, Protestants, and Muslims. And that's how most of these political parties were formed. UPC, specifically for Protestants and dominated by Protestants. DP, dominated by
Catholics.
The Catholics, and the Kabaka specifically for the Catholics. That's like the name specifies. So, the problems, the challenges, and the achievements we have all originate from that unique history we have. Then we came into the Kabaka crisis when Obote chased the Kabaka away. And also, the reason for chasing the Kabaka out of Uganda also originated from the history before colonialism. Because it came after there was this referendum in these two contested countries between Uganda and which initially belonged to Bunyoro. But then, as a way of rewarding Uganda for accepting the British, the British helped Uganda fight the Bunyoro and took over those two constituencies. So when they voted for them, they wanted to be part of Bunyoro. Now the then president, who was the Kabaka, couldn't sign on the memorandum because it was contravening with the kingdom he did. Yet he was the president. And that's why Obote ended up signing as the prime minister at the given time. And then tension dropped between central government and Uganda. And eventually, Obote, in his wisdom, Milton Obote, had to chase away the Kabaka, which was a good point. Politically, it was good for him. Because he was...
Oh, it was good for him, not for the nation.
By the time, it was good for the nation. Because Obote was trying to unify the country. And yet Uganda was trying to, because there are rumors that there was a resolution in the Chico, they were forcing Obote him and his government to leave Uganda. So Obote, what he did was trying to have the whole country unified. And that's why he ended up having all these kingdoms and chiefdoms, all the traditional kingdoms and chiefdoms abolished. So there were no these kings, chiefs. They were no longer in existence. So we had
those who actually support or who are staunch inhabitants of the traditional kingdoms you're talking about, who actually have a strong and extreme belief in their kings, they are still not happy of that action, and that's how they portrayed Obote as they portray him as a bad leader. I think he's even carrying on to his children again.
It's not that whatever political action you take, it won't make everyone happy, but so is for the greater good. Now, by that time, what Obote did suited the situation. There were tensions between Uganda and central government. And he couldn't resolve them militarily by fighting Uganda. He could only resolve them by removing what was unifying Uganda, that Uganda can become part of Uganda, becomes a republic. That's what he did in his wisdom, and it worked for him. Because all the other presidents who came after, they somehow avoided that question and left the status quo of not having traditional kingdoms. Amin came after, never restored the kingdoms. Benaisa came after, Paul Mwanga, Yokutebulu Mwanga, in Uganda even. Useful Professor, Tito Okero Lutwa, Obote came back. All those, they never touched that question because they knew how sensitive it was. Now, see, we have like I said, we have a unique history and have a unique attachment, and that's what makes us Africans. Me, I'm Mhoro. Even if I become whoever I am, my origin is Mpora, I'm Mhoro. And they can't strip it away from me. So, whoever says that we can go away with tribalism is always lying. That's not a reality. It can never be achieved. Because when you lose your identity, then you fall for everything. So you can't remove the fact that you are Mhoro, or Muganda, or Munyoro, or Musoga. That's okay. But as long as you being a Mhoro doesn't stop you from working with the Muganda. As long as you being a Muganda doesn't stop you from working with the Munyoro. Like, yes, you are a Mhoro, but we are all Ugandans. And we are all Africans. So we can have unity in those cultural diversities
that we have.
We can have that unity. That's the whole point. And that's why I think in the 1995 Constitution, the kingdoms were restored but limited. Also from participating in national politics. Reason being, if now like Kabaka decided to say, for me, the Kabaka can't stand for any position. If it wasn't so, you'd say I'm standing for presidency. So we'd have a president from Uganda, and Kwere having their own, Teso having their own, Bunyoro having their own, and it would bring crashes.
Exactly. And if you say, like, I'm just trying to think in line with what you're saying, if the Kabaka, we all know very well that majority of the voters are from the central region. You imagine the Kabaka saying, I'm standing.
They are from the central region, not of Uganda. I live here. I live in the central, but I'm in Mhoro.
They might say, okay, well, but our Kabaka has stood.
That's all we are avoiding. That's all we are avoiding. And that's why this question of they call it federal. They call it federal. Actually, I said I'm in the Justice Forum. The Justice Forum will believe in federalism. Leadership by federalism, not federal. The Baganda federal they refer to, it is a system, it's some hybrid of the real federalism and monarchism. So they want a semi-autonomous Buganda, but headed by the Kabaka.
No, I think there is.
And that would be extreme.
No, that's a misconception. Still, they are lying. That's not what the Buganda kingdom talks about. Federal is what you're talking about. Let every region, even the Katikiro of Uganda, replied it 2 weeks ago. He made a clarification on that. He says that some Ugandans think when the Kabaka stood up and say we need federal as a country, they are thinking of Uganda. No. He says it is for the entire nation.
No, it's okay, by the way. It's okay.
Yes,
but nation. It becomes a hybrid of federalism and monarchism. Now, I'll give you an example. Now, like here in Uganda, they have an organized kingdom.
Yeah.
Or in Bunyoro, in Toro, or in Busoga.
They are organized.
So if they say let every region be semi-autonomous, the Kabaka will read here. The Shabazinga will read in Busoga. Omukama will read in Toro. Now, what of us from Chigezi?
I think they're not that because we have close to 18 regions. I don't think all those regions have kings.
Now,
okay, because for the talk of
we
regions,
have federalism, not federalism,
yes,
the Kabaka wouldn't be the leader. It means the governor of the federal state would be elected.
Oh, so is there anywhere they are saying that the Kabaka should be the
now,
head?
The first federal was they wanted Uganda to be semi-autonomous. Uganda as Uganda.
Yeah, but at that phase.
And there's no one else who can lead Uganda apart from the Kabaka. There's no Uganda can be a federal state, and then you come and stand and read when the Kabaka is there. There is no way. Because to Uganda, the Kabaka is the supreme leader. Emunyoro, the Omukama is the supreme leader. The Musoga, the Chabazinga is the supreme leader. So if we had to have federalism in Uganda, it wouldn't be based on traditional kingdoms. If we had to have it, to me, in my own way, if we had to have federalism in Uganda, it would be divided in regions, not based on the traditional kingdoms.
Oh, so traditional kingdoms,
they would stay.
They
would stay, but have different regions. Just like you have districts right now. You have Wakisavu, Mukono, you have Mpiji, you have Masaka in Uganda. So if we had to have federal states, federal government in Uganda, we would have leaders who are elected, not the traditional kings and chiefs. To lead those, and it would also create so much confusion, because the people will say no one can be above the Kabaka in Uganda.
Or the Chabazinga.
Or the Chabazinga. Or the Omukama in Obutu.
Even though Mugabe will resurrect from your side.
Now that's a different case from Mugabe. It's a different case in our way. It's a different case.
But you never know.
Also,
might resurrect
also it comes from their history. How the Wagabe would come into existence. For Uganda, they had a clear succession plan. In Ankole, it would be the strongest prince to take over. You would take over, even your brother could kill and then takes over.
It's about fighting.
It would be the strongest prince to take over.
There's shedding of blood there.
Yes, we should ask about the last king, Gasionga, who was removed in 1967 or bought abolished the kingdoms. You should know how he came into existence. He killed almost all his brothers to be the king. So in Ankole, for Ankole, it's a special case. Then for us who are from Bujumbura, it was a chiefdom. There was a succession plan.
Written?
Succession? No, does Uganda have written constitution? now, those people of the past had constitutions which are not written. They be passed from generation to generation. Now, back to where we want Uganda to be. Where we want Uganda to be, we should have a consideration of the brief history and then the present and where we should be.
Okay. Bring us where we are now, because
now, where we are now.
Yes. Talking about because you stopped at 1966 Kabaka, the crisis. Then of course Amini came in, then Obote came
now
back.
Museveni came in 86.
Now Museveni came in.
Now, as Museveni was coming in, Museveni is potentially a Marxist. When Museveni was coming in, Museveni is a Marxist.
Why do you say that?
He is a Marxist. He has always said that. He has always said that. But you see, in Africa, there are some challenges we have up now that we don't determine our own internal policies without influence of they're always influenced. Now in Uganda, when President Amin was there and Obotes, they almost nationalized almost everything. Mostly Obote, most Amin, he nationalized almost everything. The Uganda Railway, the airline, almost all the coffee,
the banking system,
the coffee factories, most of those things were nationalized. And with the coming of Museveni, he maintained that. Now there came the structure adjustment programs as recommended by IMF and World Bank.
Oh, during the times of Amin and Obote, probably the IMF and World Bank had not. They couldn't penetrate through very well.
Now, when those people came in, if you remember very well, they were giving conditions.
Definitely.
Some of the conditions they gave to return to party politics and also to privatize the national assets. And that's why most of the problems have come in. They started from that day.
Privatization.
The day we accepted the structure adjustment programs by IMF and World Bank. Actually, there is a report, I think, last week. Africans are claiming they want to be compensated because of the losses we made. Those structure adjustment programs.
Because it wasn't our thing. It wasn't from us.
No, it was external. It was not external. It was a way of controlling us. It was a way of controlling us. Actually, I have always wondered why people praise us. Those white people never want us to be where they are. They want us to be where we are. We stay here, floating. So we could see them as gods.
So they could look at Amini and Obote, who were nationalizing everything.
Yes.
They could look at them as enemies.
Enemies to their interests. Now it's like me having you as a friend.
Yeah.
But I never wanted to have a job. But in case at home you lack salt, you say, bro, I give you a 50K. They get lunch at home. The other day I give 200K, you pay rent. Like, I keep you at that level. You survive, you don't die.
Even when you have the capacity,
yes, to help you.
To help me get a job.
I make sure you don't get it here. Because I want to keep controlling you. I may be wise and to keep exploiting you. Always do. Yeah. Now that's what the whites did. The IMF, the World Bank, it's a creation. It was their creation. It's their imperialistic creations meant to control us as Africans. And most of the problems we have, they originate from the structure adjustment programs in Uganda. Even on the corruption, even on that, they originate from there. Now, when the structure adjustment program, they sold everything. They sold everything, not selling. Because I think UDB was said at 3,000, $1, a bank.
Uganda Movement Bank?
I think it was UDB, if I remember. This saga which involved genocide.
Hey.
That involved Honorable Matthew Chikire, the late Chinda Chivejinja, that fought Vejinja to resign from as a minister, and also Chikire to resign as a minister, and started confessing in camera. I think does it to get on a bank? There's some bank they stole. They bought just for $1. And right now the Uganda's banking system is purely controlled by the foreigners. I think the banks we have from Uganda are Post Bank, and now current Power Bank, and Central Road Development Bank.
But it still also Centenary has some legs also.
No, it's a purely Ugandan.
Yeah,
it's pure Ugandan. And then Power Bank. Power Bank is owned by government. The others, they are assistant big. You see, equity. You see.
There is one I had today, and they were very proud. They are making billions out just interests from the loans they give our people. Oh.
And do you know where these loans go? They don't make investments. These loans, those interests they make, those profits they make, they're repatriated back to their countries.
Yes.
Do you remember Pig Fair? We grew up knowing Pig Fair.
Yeah,
Pig Fair has always been.
Yeah.
But then Pig Fair, if the market, there was no investment in Uganda. The Pig Fair, you show ShopRite, that's supermarket, or Nakumat. They are not here. They owe left with whatever they made, whatever profit they made. They are stealing from us. And surprisingly, Museveni gives them tax waivers, they give them free land as investors. Now, I go back to where we are.
Yeah.
Now, after the structure adjustment programs
by World Bank and IMF,
Uganda needed drones. And to give them drones, there was a condition: you must privatize.
Now I see you. If I run my mind very fast, that's why we are now indebted as a country. You must be kept in debts. That's why when Libya had no debts, started to be attacked, because Libya was even giving loans to other countries. It's on record. Yeah.
By the time Mama Gaddafi was killed, France owned him trillions of money. And if you may, it was France that was pushing, killing Gaddafi to hide away from those he had given them. And I think there's a former head of France who was convicted of recent because of hiding behind NATO to avoid paying those loans. So the whole problem comes from the structured adjustment programs, and then now we come to where we are. Now where we are in a country that is led by. Now we have from the structured adjustment programs, I will come to multi-party system. You see, democracy as democracy, it looks to be a good idea, but to me it is the best system for Africa. Africa. Now that's why I started with the history, the kingdoms we had. We had forms of leadership other than democracy. Democracy came to be developed just of recent. It's not very old. Because even countries that are promoting democracy, look at the US. It is one of the people that say democracy. When did blacks start voting in the US? It's just of recent. Look at the UK. They first stole from us here, Eugonism. They are the people who were funding self-trade. It's us that developed them. After them developing, they became democratic. Now they want us to use a system they adopted after developing, to use it before we develop. So democracy is a means of keeping the black person happy by changing government after 5 years, but dying in poverty.
So it is destructive.
It is destructive.
Democracy is destructive.
As it is. Because democracy's principles are irregular elections, which we do have.
Oh, we do. Since 1996, we do. We are
then,
very good
for
there.
them, they think party, having so many parties.
Oh, yes. We have over 30 now.
DRC has over 100 political parties. The DRC.
Uganda
but
on the race.
See how unstable it is. Then you allow these civil societies. These people make a lot of noise in the name of civil societies, many activists. Then you have separation of powers. You have parliament, judiciary, executive, and then you respect human rights. Whose definition has always changed day in, day out. Because by the time we never knew about homosexuality.
We even have a commission, a whole body.
All that. This is what they call human rights. They keep changing each and every day. Now, a kid in the US, a kid of 5 years can say that I'm a man or a woman. Yeah. It's also human rights.
It's a right. It's a right of that human.
They want to force it on us. So human rights, they keep changing each and every day.
Yeah.
Each and every day, human rights. Now those are the principles of democracy. But in the democracy leadership, there's nothing like development. Actually, to the people who are forcing democracy on us, even if you remain poor, as long as you have democracy, for them it's okay. And the democracy they want is not that practicing what they tell you, but serving their interests. So even if, I'll give an example, in Venezuela, there's Nicolas Maduro was just elected.
Nicolas Maduro, yes, and the wife.
About 2 years ago. Wasn't he picked? Now is the president there is the president who is the kind of was it democracy or not democracy? He was elected into office by the majority. He became the president, but out of the blue, the people call themselves the world police of democracy, they came and picked him. With all the claims they have. So that's why democracy, in a sense, doesn't exist. Just a tool, use it to have us submit to them.
Yeah, because if you ask yourself, was Maduro doing anything harmful to the people that elected him? The answer
I'll
is
ask
no.
you another example. Look at Israel.
Israel, yes.
I'll say it in camera. Israel is a terrorist state. And I'll say it without fear or favor. It is a terrorist state. But no one will ever condemn them.
But even those they attack, they're also terrorists.
Now,
they are terrorists as well.
Who did finance a terrorist? Now that's also the problem. The definition of a terrorist and a dictator. That's where the whole problem comes in. To them, a terrorist is someone who doesn't serve the US interests. You become a terrorist. Now, if
it could be because of their history as well.
Not history.
They have their history.
Now that's the mindset we have in Uganda. That's the problem we have in Uganda. I'm coming to that. We have a very big problem in Uganda. Mindset. Our brains we've been brainwashed. And we don't even think, don't even question. And there are these NGOs that are pumping that nonsense into our heads. We don't question some of these things. Now, I'll come back to Uganda. Now,
the multi-party system.
The multi-party system that came in, I know actually, for the matter of fact, Museveni never believed in the multi-party system. He kept saying it to be Ejeko because they were forcing it on him. He wanted aid.
Then he's the weakest.
So
what did he allow?
You see, as a leader,
he's weak.
As a leader, you should know when to fight and when to withdraw. Museveni is an intelligent man.
Okay.
As a leader, you should know.
But you can be intelligent at the same time weak.
He's not a weak leader, I'm telling you. Try him. They know he's not a weak leader. But there are some compromises he must make. As a leader, there are some compromises you must make as a leader for the good of your people. For that, I acknowledge.
Okay.
Now, we came into multi-party system, and now here we are. Now, where we are as Uganda, we are in a country where what we call democracy, which actually I don't even believe in, appears to be around. But in real sense, no there. We have, I would always call democracy, we have a system where we have the principles of democracy that they appear in existence, they are there. But what is happening in practice is that there's someone who controls all other arms of government. And that's the president. He makes orders. And that's the democracy. They're there, but they don't work. they work on someone's orders. Now, while we are in Uganda, we are in a country where the president keeps shouting at people he calls foreigners and imperialists, but they're the people who fund his government.
Yeah. So it's like a barking dog that doesn't bite.
That doesn't bite.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do bite, but not every day. Now, we are in a country, we have so many people who still think that aid can help us develop. And their own reward is aid. Do you remember when the anti-homosexuality bill was passed?
Oh, yeah. One of the grounds.
People who are making noise. Now the aid has never caused development. I think you should get one time and look at those arguments they make when they're giving aid. They never give developmental aid. They never.
Yeah.
They never give developmental aid. The aid they give, there'll be these NGOs you see around here making noise, you give them money. So man, me, I'm a human rights activist, they'll give you money. But came that you want to build the road.
Yeah.
You never get the money. Now that's the kind of aid we get. They were sponsoring, I think, AIDS program. But how much money was getting the people? How much money? All the money was going into administration and buying cars. Let's say if it is 100 million, you find 120 of that 100 million doing the real work. And they know that. But because they want to keep us controlled. That's the Uganda we are in. Now we are in Uganda where corruption has been institutionalized and legalized. So there is legal corruption and illegal corruption in Uganda. Actually, sometimes I don't know it's called corruption, because corruption is giving you something to help me go through something through backdoor means. But in Uganda, they steal, they embezzle, they root. You saw the Anshit scandal. Remember the COVID scandal. Yeah. Remember the Temangaland scandal. You remember this Honorable Jim Huzoni was convicted of stealing Global Fund money. Global Fund. He's now a minister.
We started with Chogam.
Yes, Chogam came recent. Global Fund was, I think, 1999 or something of that sort. You remember Chogam?
Chogam, 2007.
Yeah, 6-7. You remember which other scandal that made us?
There are very many.
Shocked us. There are so many scandals. No, that's the kind of Uganda we are in. Now we are in Uganda, where our education only helps us understand English. We are in Uganda where wise people who have the wisdom and knowledge and intellect don't get the education they deserve. But only those with money get the education, not necessarily having the intellect. We are in Uganda where health systems always support the rich. The poor person survives on the mass of the road. We are in Uganda where silence is a sign of authority in Uganda. That's the Uganda we are in right now. That we are in Uganda where the president openly defends the corrupt. In open. Now we are in Uganda where most of the people are mad by that, if you didn't know.
They are mad?
Yes.
Yeah.
We are in Uganda where the GDP keeps increasing each and every day, but money in the pocket never appears. Meaning, you have people who have money for the whole district, an individual person, because I've never considered GDP as a fair measure of the country's wealth and development. Because they will get the whole amount you produce and then they divide with the total population. Even me who has nothing in their pocket, they will quote me to steal portions of money on the account. Now that's the problem with GDP. Now, we are in Uganda where everything is now a mess. And we are heading into transition. The president is not going any younger. Now, which Uganda would we be, or where should we be?
Yeah, how can we get out of all the mess that we are in?
I'll go back to democracy. Like I said at the beginning, I have issues with democracy, and I've always written articles about that challenging the democracy we have. Democracy we have is Aryan. And it's what these people are pushing. It's an Aryan system, an administrative system that was forced on to us by the people already developed. So, the first thing is first. We should first drop and get where they are, and then we can adopt democracy.
Is that possible?
Very possible. Very possible. Very possible. Because democracy...
Who should pioneer that?
And that's why we come. We come into leadership. Because with democracy, democracy, they define you, they define that you are democratic as long as you serve their interests. There was an election in Chad, I think, earlier this week.
Mhm.
Chad, do you know Chad? Chad is an extremely poor country. Extremely poor.
Yeah.
But Chad has over 7 military bases by foreign nations.
Wow, the poorest.
One of the poorest countries. The president has been around for around 30, 40 years. But because he allows those so-called Democrats have the bases in his country, and those bases attack and fund terrorism in Africa, they consider him a Democrat. Now, people like Captain Traore is a radical administrator, but who is working towards achieving the development of his country, they call him a dictator. Now we should ask ourselves, what should democracy be?
If you have one,
now
the one
if
of
you meet
charge.
my mother right now,
Yeah.
in Rukunjoi, where I come from, in Rubanga, the village is called Kashanje, Rubanga, Parish, in sub-county in Rukunjoi district. Even if Museveni stays for 50 years without election, as long as
doesn't bother.
As long as she finds medicine in the hospital, as long as the roads are well done, as long as she can get market for her matoke and her coffee, as long as she goes to police and gets justice, as long as there is proper supply of water, as long as there is internet, as long as the taxes are not embezzled, democracy is nothing to her. Now that should be the best. There's no one can to be democratic when people are dying. And democracy doesn't have anything. Actually, democracy has no declaration of development. Democracy is just a leadership model, but has no declaration of development. Now, that should be the baseline for democracy. That should be the baseline. Even if we had a dictator, I wouldn't care. I don't care about who did the country.
As long as I am
the best
peace,
services we get.
I can access the health sectors very well. I can go to police and they serve me if I have
very
any
well.
case.
You can use the road. You can transport your matoke from Okonjo to Kampala for market. You can produce your coffee, and you know the market is there. That should be the best. The basis for democracy. The others are just hoodwinking us into accepting. There's a guy who said, I'm sorry about this, but he said, with religion, these religions of ours, Catholics, whatever those, you will be poor but very happy. You will find someone telling you, I'm rich because I have Jesus, when he has nothing to eat. Now that's how democracy is. That's how democracy is. Democracy will make you feel very comfortable because you've elected someone and goes through. You feel very comfortable, but when you have nothing at home. Now, to me, real democracy should be oscillating with those basic things a human being would wish to have. Now, the problem we have is that the people who define democracy, who define someone as a terrorist, who define someone as a dictator, are the same people finding the terrorists. What do you think is happening in Nigeria? Ever since they started refining their own oil, terrorism started. Boko Haram is now attacking charges. Recently, I saw President Trump. We are coming to Nigeria to protect Christians. When did we start protecting Christians? But there is oil. So Tinubu will be a dictator very soon. That's wait. Tinubu will be a dictator very soon. In Uganda, they become a dictator. The other day, they are with him posing around. So as long as you are serving an interest, their interest, you are a Democrat and you are
a Democrat.
If you challenge them like Kagame, then become a dictator. And if now, like I will give you an example, President Sheked of the DRC,
yes.
The guy went to the US and gave them all the minerals, all the rare earth minerals. The US has rights over them.
Yeah.
And now they are praising him. They gave him guns in exchange. No, that's not the kind of fools.
That's why even there's a memorandum of understanding.
That's how they came out. They are condemning Rwanda.
Yeah.
These are the kind of fools we have in Uganda. I mean, in the whole Africa. Now, where did those problems start from? They started from 1962 or something, when Lumumba was publicly executed.
Yeah.
Who maneuvered that? The CIA and the British intelligence. I mean, the Belgian intelligence.
Intelligence, yes.
Because by then there was a Cold War between capitalism and communism. And most of the African revolutionaries were leaning against communism and abandoning capitalism. Because with capitalism, it only serves the rich. That's
You're
the
not
mere
rich,
fact.
you're done.
That's the mere fact. It serves the rich, it creates classes in society, so it creates the rich class and us who are the poor ones.
So
And
Uganda,
we are there to serve them.
we a capitalist nation.
We are not, Uganda is not a capitalist state.
We are.
But it's a mixed
Where are
economy.
we?
It's a mixed economy.
Hey.
It's a mixed economy.
Okay.
It's a mixed economy.
We have the rich, we have the
Yeah,
poor.
we have both capitalism and communism. Some of the things are owned by government. In capitalism, everything is private owned. That's actually, it's the biggest difference between in the US between Democrats and Republicans. The Democrats believe some things must be provided by government, and the Republicans pure capitalists. Now, those are the kind of challenges we have. Now, the challenges have a very historical.
Yeah, you talked about democracy, and you said that because I'm looking at who should pioneer the real democracy you're talking
We don't
about.
need the democracy. What do we need democracy for? Now, in Uganda, what has democracy helped us? Helped us achieve? What has democracy helped Congo achieve? Congo has been having elections for over all the years above. What have they achieved? When the Eastern part is whole having about 100 rebel groups funded by the CIA and those Mossads and those terrorists. What have we achieved with democracy? To me, it shouldn't be about the democracy as per se. It should be about the proper leadership.
Okay.
The proper leadership, where that's why I've said I don't mind someone being a dictator.
As long as
actually a dictatorship, what they call dictatorship is not as bad as they claim it to be.
Yeah,
That
because
means that the individual.
We blackmail leader mean that he was a dictator, but you said he nationalized everything.
Most of what we have is because of Amin.
World Bank couldn't come here.
It's because of what we have. It's because of Idi Amin. Now, dictatorship is you dictate over things. Now, for the dictatorship, the president may sit, not go through parliament and then procurement. What even facilitates corruption. He would sit. Let's say, right now in Uganda, we have so many challenges. I'll give you an example: the housing challenge. He dictates and says, now the whole of Sanji Hill, it will be a residential area. He contracts maybe the national housing, builds flats, about 100 of them, and people start staying in those flats at a lower price, subsidized prices, and then over time you own it. Like they did for Koto flats, white flats, those flats. That was the old essence. Now that's what they call a dictator. That you see with democracy. I'll give an example. If this is a public institution and the toilet is down, now we would sit in a meeting, let's say a school, we sit in a meeting, pass a minute, go to the sub-county, pass minutes, go to the district, pass minutes, now include it in the budget, then they talk about it, now they go into the this process of procurement, which will take 5 years.
Yeah.
It was supposed to take about 20 million, ends up taking about 130 million. And 5 years without constructing it. Now that's the democracy they want. They want what they call the due process. Now, why would you have the such? Now with
the dictatorship,
what they call dictatorship, he would order, confirm that it within 4 days and it would be done. I think what is happening in Iran, they bombed the bridges in 72 hours. The railways and bridges were done. Now, if it was a democracy, it would take 10 years.
Yeah.
And people are not moving.
Because they have to go through a bureaucratic
that's the problem
process.
we are having. Yeah. Democracy comes with bureaucracy. A democracy is dictatorship of the few rights. Democracy itself is a dictatorship. Yes, because there are few areas who are leading others. Democracy is manipulative. Go to parliament.
Yeah.
Go to parliament. How are laws passed? The IAs have it. Even if one is a fool, as long as he says yes, then in a democracy, his yes has a say. Now go to the US, not even a full vote. There are some people who are supposed to vote for you in the US.
Exactly.
Because not everyone understands. And that's the biggest change we're having in Uganda. So the other thing we should have is the election process. Not everyone must vote.
You want us to go to electoral colleges?
That's how it should be. We have fools in Uganda. And that's the fact. Matter of fact. Some people are idiots. And apologetically, I would say some people are just idiots. I was in this election, I was very active. Someone will say, I want to vote so and so because someone so and so said we shouldn't vote for him. With no reason.
Oh.
In Uganda, we vote for age classmates, we vote for
Village
tribe
mates.
mates, you vote you vote
For
because someone has said don't vote for so and so because I have issues with him. Now that's the kind of problem we have.
Mr. Nahabwe, let's keep it here for the first episode. I'm going to have you in the next episode as you continue to share with us the kind of Uganda that you want to see. And our time has run out of us now. Our viewers and our listeners, we want to sign out right now. I know you're going to be eagerly and anxiously waiting for Mr. Nahabwe Innocent sharing his perspective of the Uganda we want in the second episode. For now, we sign out and we say bye-bye.